Hi there! Welcome back to another episode of Dweeb City with your host, me, Star Jackson. In today's episode, we are going to just be a yappin'. But this isn't no ordinary yappin' session. We're going to be talking about all things nerdism. And what I mean by that is, like, nerdism, where did it come from? Like, where did it derive from? Like, the name nerd. I never really thought about it, and I just did some research, and I am shocked where the word nerd derived from, and some cool facts and history about being a nerd and how it evolved from being not so cool almost if I would say almost a not cool niche to be in, to have. I remember when I was in school, a lot of people would hide being a nerd, but now that I think about it, a lot of nerds in that I saw in school, I loved how they had their own society and their own little cliques. When I went to school, even though everyone outside of the society would see them as weird or nerdy or geeky or stuff like that, it was usually like a derogatory term. But lately, I've been seeing the change, the evolution of nerdism, of weedism, of dorkyism, if that's even a word, and dweebs, and it's just become a beautiful thing, and I wanted to touch in on that and get a check-in on how you guys have been enjoying the podcast thus far. I'm hoping you guys have been liking what you've been hearing with all of the guests that we've had on. All of their stories are so amazing, so intricate, and hearing them talk about themselves and their journey and what they've been through, and even having them realize it themselves, like what they've been through and where they are now, and sharing that to you all to see. It's just been a beautiful thing to me, and I'm really happy that you guys have been enjoying it as much as we did recording it. It's been such an honor, and listening back to them and really smiling when hearing them smile, seeing their smiles on each and every episode, seeing them laugh, and just having conversation, just yapping, and letting them have like a safe space where we can really be nerds, and that's what it's all about, and being storytellers in general too. It's just, I just feel very honored, very blessed, and I'm so happy to finally have been able to drop that fear and to be able to finally do it, and to share it with all of you guys. So I just wanted to give a quick shout out and say thank you to each and every one of you, for listening, for sharing with your friends, and sharing with family and anybody who could be interested in it. And I am so excited and stoked for more to come. I've been working hard, busy, getting you guys the content. I've been trying to do it every week. So ever since we started doing the podcast, seriously, this year, we've been, posting every week. I'm hoping to keep doing that, but, I'm starting to reach where a little bit burnout. So, we may or may not push it back to every other week and have cause my plan was to have, an interview episode every other week and have a solo episode every week with us just yapping or just talking about pop culture, things going on in the industry and stuff like that. So I'm gonna try to do that again. So this finally got the time to sit down and really talk and yap with you guys and do the solo episode. So next week will be an interview episode and then a solo episode again. So we're going to try that dynamic and see if that works out. And if not, we'll do like every other week so we can like space it out for a voice acting work, because I myself am a voice actor, if you guys didn't know already. I also do content creating, a whole bunch of it. I try to post at least once a day, 5 days a week on Instagram right now, and on TikTok I try every day, but It's seeming more like every other day, but if I have content to post, I do it every day. Just to, I might do it just 5 days a week as well from there, just so that way we can stick to that consistency and really get like the quality of the content really good for you guys to watch for your viewing pleasure. And also I did like a recent cosplay of one of my characters for the very first time. If you guys want to go check that out, it's on my Instagram, on my TikTok, of Dunya Makis. And from this venture camp, the fan base has been absolutely amazing, and I'm so honored to be a part of this project and to have connected with all of you, and it's just been so much fun, and I'm excited for more to come. So yeah, that was just like a intro, a little thing in. And if you guys want to do that, everything that I have is under Star Jackson 369, STAR Jackson 369. And so with that being said, let's jump into the nerdism. So when I was researching what a nerd is, I found out that the term nerd means nut or nutcase. When I first saw it, I was like, oh my gosh, nutcase? What does that mean? Like, I didn't know that, but it makes kind of sense because it both starts with N. So I was shocked, but also I was like, okay, that kind of makes sense. It was also, I thought, well, that was surprising, but not really surprising. That is a U.S. term, so it's from America and where I'm from. So I was also shocked that it was from America, but not really, because it didn't seem like a word that was like from another like country meaning. It was formed in the 1940s, meaning stupid or crazy person as well. So it was very like negative terms, which I saw, and it was popularized in the 1940s, from its heavy use in a sitcom. So it really started showing effect in a sitcom called Happy Days. I personally haven't heard of it because I don't really watch sitcoms like that. I really should, because I heard that like a lot of them are really good, but so apparently that Happy Days really was talking about that a lot, and then people started using the term, and really started using the term after that. It's the same with the word geek. In the 19th century, it was considered like foolish, or it could be offensive, and it's actually from a Low German word, the word geek. It usually means worthless, or just really negative terms. And you wonder why being a nerd would be negative, because it all's coming from like negative terms, which I've noticed. Same thing with weeb, or it comes from the word weeboo, which appeared actually really early on, or like really recently on, at the time of this podcast. In the 2000s, and it came from the Perry Bible Fellowship webcomic. It was without a reference to the Japanese culture, though, but Christopher Poole Fletcher replaced something on his website. He replaced the word weep-a-knees to weeb with weeboo. So I believe that was a defining factor in the evolution of that word as well. It was considered a non-Japanese person that was really into Japanese culture. So it was called a wannabe. So weeboo was like derived from wannabe. So yeah. And as well as dweeb. It's American slang. That one is actually American slang as well in the 20th century. It's derived from like dwarf and feeble, feeble-minded, studious, socially inept person. So it's kind of like a mixture of weeb and nerd and geek all together. But as a collective, nerd culture and passions, it's basically what it is. It's like as being a nerd is pretty much like a whole bunch of people loving certain hobbies, and passions and coming together as a community and becoming an intricate and putting it into ordinary, regular day-to-day life, like gaming, D&D, anime, manga, streaming, you name it, and VTubing, all that good stuff, comics, and more. And it's like a hobby that never gets old. The history of it, though, from it being negative to positive was really interesting to me, as I turn and flip my page. I've noticed that within life, sometimes people push away things they don't understand. And I feel like with the weeb culture, it's very different than having like a regular hobby, so to speak. There's so much that goes into the fandom. You have posters and you have cosplayers, and you have like different activities that you can do, that you could play with dice with, and that you could do role play. There's so many other things, and that are under it, and sometimes that can be a lot for one person who's never seen anything nerdy to understand. But I've come to realize throughout the years with media and things along those nature, that when somebody gives the opportunity to open up and really see what something is all about, and really just be open-minded just to see, and they might actually like it themselves, and then when that happens, they might pass it on to somebody else because they might see them playing with something that really looks really cool, and they get interested in that. Then they tell their friends, and so forth and so forth. And it's really shown like the power of the love and the passion of things that we like. When it's strong, it can move on and be placed upon others. And even especially with known people, like people who are celebrities, if they might like something and they're very passionate about it and they show it, and other people see that they like it, they'll be like, oh, that's really cool, let me get into that. Or they could be like, I've heard about this stuff and I didn't think it was kind of cool, but since the person that I look up to thinks it's cool, let me go check it out and see what it's all about. It kind of creates like a sort of domino effect. For example, how I got into anime personally, when I was in college, first I heard about it a lot from my sister. She would always tell me all the time, watch this anime, watch that anime, it's so good, you'll love anime, it's like Digimon, because technically I got her in anime, just saying, because I used to watch Digimon all the time growing up. I didn't really watch Pokemon, but I did watch Digimon a lot. I watched Avatar: The Last Airbender. I honestly think that's an anime. Do not argue with me. I know it's an anime, even though it's an American anime, which is a Western animation. But Avatar: The Airbender was one of them. Digimon was definitely one because it is actually an anime. And I didn't know that at the time. I watched Puka also growing up. I believe that one was anime, but I'm not sure if it's an anime. But if you guys remember Jetix, I don't know if you remember that. I used to watch it on that series, and then my sister got into it from me watching like small stuff like that. I remember when Toonami used to come on, but I used to have to like change the channel because I was too young to watch it, and I actually followed the rules and didn't want to get in trouble, so I would turn off Toonami. But right before I turned on the TV, I would see anime sometimes, and I would be like, oh, that's so cool, like Futurama and stuff like that, and then I would turn it off because I was like, oh, I shouldn't be watching this is for kids. But she was telling me like all about anime and how is this, how is that, and that I should really get into it. Like she knew that I would get into it. And I'm just like, nah,